Hello everyone and welcome to British Values Day. As you can see, I am showing off my British flag at Big Ben and I look forward to sharing this introductory video of British values with you. So today you'll be spending all day discussing different lessons with your teachers and learning all about the British values and what they are about. So let's get started. Before I introduce you to the actual British values, I would like to know from you what values actually are. So I'll give you about a minute or so to think about it, so you can pause the video now and just think about what values are. Off you go. Right, so values are beliefs that we as individuals have, so we can either share them with the community or it can only be something that you have. Not everyone share the same values, but a lot of us do actually share the same values, which is quite nice. So I have this short activity just to find out what kind of values we share. But because we're doing this at home and it's quite difficult to share with each other, I was thinking maybe you could write these down and share it on Seesaw if you'd like. We can even discuss it when I see you in school on the 8th of March. Or if you don't want to share it, you really don't have to because it's something quite personal. So it's called a Diamond 9 activity. And as you can see on the right over here, I have Diamond 9, which is my 9 little squares or rectangles. And I would like you to have a look at these words and think about how important they are to you and which one you would put first, which one you put last, and which ones goes in between. So because we're all different, not everyone will have the same value first or even last. And that's absolutely fine because no two people are the same, which is amazing. So I have these words written down here and I'll go through each of them for you before you start the activity. So we have respect, trust, integrity. We all know integrity is doing the right thing, is one of our values at school. Our RISE values, we have honesty, fairness, where you treat someone the way you would like, and you treat someone the same way in which you treat another person and don't have any favorites. We have tolerance, which is accepting others, commitment, equality, also the same, treating people equally, and service. It's almost like how you are towards others, your kindness towards them, how you treat them. So in this activity, I would like you to write down, you can even write them down in a list from numbers 1 to 9 and tell me which one you would put first and which one you put last and the others in between. And then if there's a word you would change, this is an extension. If there's a word you would change on the list, which word would it be and which word would you put in? That would be quite an interesting one to discuss once we get back to school and see your views on this. So I might have integrity as my first one because it's quite important to always do the right thing. But then someone else might have honesty or respect as their first one, which is absolutely fine because all of our values are so different. Okay, so you can do this activity at the end, or if you'd like to do it now, you can pause the video while you complete it and then to complete the rest of the video once you're finished. Okay, so what are our British values? For those of you in Key Stage 2, you might be quite familiar with these because you've heard of them for such a long time now. So I expect all of Key Stage 2 or most of Key Stage 2 at least know 3 or 4 of them. If you really can't remember, that's absolutely fine because I'll refresh your memory real soon. So take 2 seconds or so. Think about a British value that you know. If you know all of them, amazing. So pause the video now and think about what our British values might be. Great. So here I have a list of the 5 British values, which is democracy, rule of law, individual liberty, mutual respect, tolerance of those of different faiths and beliefs. So I don't think they're in a certain order because of their importance, but that's just the order in which we learned them, or they've been given to us. So this is how we learn them. If you can name them in a different order, it's absolutely fine, as long as you know the British values. Right, I'm now going to take you through a couple of slides where I'll be discussing each British value. So feel free to stop, read through it, make your own notes if you have. If you have any questions, you can always add them on Seesaw for us, or at the end of the day, you can speak about them to your teacher in your class briefings. So we have democracy, which is when a group of people have equal rights and the freedom to choose how they are treated, rather than when one person rules a country or makes all the decisions. So instead of having a ruler, you now have people who are able to make decisions and then choose their own government as well. Okay, that's when we are able to vote for someone who we would like to lead our country or represent us. Then we have rule of law. This just means that all people and groups are ruled by the same laws. Okay. Everyone must obey the same laws. No, not one person must follow one rule and the other person the other. Imagine how crazy that would be if there was a rule for every single person. Okay, so to keep us safe and happy, there's one set of rules and laws that everyone must follow. In Britain, most countries though, we have a police force who make sure that people are safe and not doing the wrong thing and do not break the law. Do you know what happens when people break the law? Yeah, you either get a fine or you're imprisoned, but there's always a consequence for not following the law. Our next one is individual liberty. It's all quite self-explanatory within the name itself. Individual means one person. So this is when people have the freedom to choose their own faith, their own beliefs, their own things that they like or dislike. And this is outside of the government's control because it's your decisions. So in Britain, as long as we're following our law, we can choose to live the way we actually want to, which is nice. Have our own opinion about things. So that's quite important, that people have the freedom to choose their own things they like and dislike. We have mutual respect, which is quite an important one wherever we go, basically, because it just means that even though we don't always see eye to eye with people, we don't always agree on the same things, we still need to show them respect. And in the same way, they have to show us respect, even though they might not agree with us. So mutual respect is quite important because our world would be chaotic if we didn't respect each other's values and beliefs. We'd always be arguing or fighting. Okay, so think about how important mutual respect is. Then we have the tolerance of those of different faiths and beliefs, which is another important one also, because not everyone respects that people have different faiths and beliefs. So in Britain, it's important for us to accept those people and appreciate that all of us are different and we have different beliefs than other people. And they might not always have the same religion as ours, but it's still important to respect that and also accept it. So I have a quick question for you. I would like to know how the British values can be seen at Ark Franklin Primary. I've made a list of quite a few things that I know can be seen at our school. But before I go ahead, I'd like you to take 2 minutes to think about it. If you have anything to jot them down. You can always discuss them with your class teacher or with me when you see me on the 8th of March, like I said earlier. So you can pause the video now and think about any British value you can see in our school, or if you have all 5, amazing, just jot them down. Off you go. Right, so I made a list, so I'll be going through each of them from the top with democracy, and I'll end with tolerance of those of different faiths and beliefs. So with democracy, at our school, we have the school council. And at the beginning of every academic year, you're able to vote for someone after they've made their speech, and you choose your own school councillor, which is amazing because it's not just something the teacher thinks this child will do a great job at, but it's something you're choosing. You have faith in that person to represent your class. And then that school councillor goes ahead and meets up with Ms. Ryan every week or second week, and they discuss certain issues and views. They also get your opinions in class on what you would like to improve our school building or even our playground, and they take it back to Ms. Ryan and discuss these issues. Then we also have the rule of law. So from the very beginning, when you come to school at the beginning of the year, whether it's reception, nursery, year 3 or year 6, we have a presentation for you already and welcome you and remind you of our school's rules, which is quite important. Okay, so you also taught our school's values and the importance of our values, and also the responsibilities that comes with following those values, but also the consequences if you don't follow them. Okay, there's always consequences for not following a rule or a law, so we try to make sure that you know that from the very beginning. And then as a class, you also sit together and you combine a few rules for your class, and that's something that your teacher jots down at the beginning of the year and leaves it up in the front of the class or somewhere for you to see throughout the year. Okay, so there's always, with rules might come consequences, but there's always a reward. The very first one is just that feeling you get of being acknowledged when you've done something right, or followed a rule, or even achieved one of our ARISE values. It always feels good when someone says, well done, you've achieved this, so well done for respecting this person. So there's always that. Another reward might be the rewards we have in school, like the dojos, or at the end of the week you might get some golden time. There's so many different rewards that different teachers might have in their classrooms. Okay? I know another reward that Ms. Ryan loves is taking those with 100% attendance to go and get a book at Fortnum. So keep up with that. As soon as we get back to school, hopefully we can start doing that very soon again. And then we have individual liberty. So this is when the adults around the building, your teachers, your co-teachers, might encourage you to make your own choices. And especially when we're working through our classwork, we give you different options, different scenes or things, and we always encourage you to choose the right one or make a good choice. So that's how we speak about individual, or how we see individual liberty within our school. You're always encouraged to make your own choices. Another one, quite important one, is in our computing curriculum, when we teach the importance of making safe choices online. And I know we've been teaching that quite a bit, so I know that all of you are being safe online. The next one is mutual respect. So mutual respect is where everyone at our school is valued, whether you're an adult or a learner, and we know that you are important to our school and you all make a contribution to our school. Okay, so we learn that our behaviors have an effect on the rights of ourselves and others, because if we do something wrong, obviously there's a consequence. But if you're doing something good, there's always that reward that you get. Okay, so respect just means always showing others kindness, respecting them wherever you go. And around the building, our adults do our very best to always set a great example to the children on how to respect not only the adults but also children. And we do hope that you follow as we go along. The last one is tolerance of those of different faiths and beliefs. So, of course, we know we have people with different faiths and beliefs in our school, and it's quite important to us as well that everyone accepts each other and respects each other. So on RE days, we have a variety of beliefs that we explore at the end of every term. Okay, and you're taught to just accept this and respect people who have different faiths and beliefs. Okay, so before I end off, I would like you to think about the 5 British values and see if you can name them off the top of your head. Off you go. Right, so perfect. So I'd like you to hold up your hand, just one hand, and I'm going to teach you the 5 British values on your fingers that you may not forget again. Okay, ready? We have democracy, we have rule of law, individual liberty, mutual respect, tolerance of those of different faiths and beliefs. Okay, I had so much fun introducing you to British values today. I hope you have a fantastic day learning all about it with your teachers, and I look forward to seeing you again on the 8th of March. Take care. Bye.